She a little ratchet, but I'm still gonna smash it. Long hair, green eyes, damn, she a bad bitch. So long, breathing hard, asthmatics.
Yo, what's going down? It's your boy, the young boss hog, Natomas Slimm, and we're chopping up game with Investment Director Ijeh Ogbechie. Ijeh, thank you so much for coming on and advising, giving some people some advice about what should they do with their money during this trying times that we're going through. Appreciate you coming on.
Sure, of course. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. So, Ijeh, like I said, I brought you on to give some type of financial advice to people that are out there that's worrying about their funds, but just so they know why they could trust your advice, can you give a little background about yourself and your education and what you do?
Got you. I was born and raised in Southern California under some frugal Nigerian parents and one of four kids. So just understand the value of money. And I got to college, UC Davis with you, and studied economics. Went on to work for an investment bank, Goldman Sachs, started my career there. Worked at a couple of different hedge funds, managing operations, and have just now basically started working for an investment advisor that advises endowments and foundations. So generally larger portfolios and just more of a holistic global focus, but it's something that I've enjoyed since before college. So it's just good to be still doing this and to be getting paid to do this. So
that's always good, getting paid to do what you like. So just let people know, when you say you're working with these portfolios, you're not talking about H&R Block portfolios here, right? You ain't an H&R Block employee, right? You're working with big money right now.
I mean, yeah, generally endowments that are supporting universities or school systems are in the hundreds of millions of dollars at times, or billions. Some foundations are, supporting a lot of the grants that support their community. And so, those tend to be larger foundations that could get in the, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, or billions. So.
Okay, so I just say that, no shade to H&R Block. If you work there, shouts out to you. Everybody needs a job, but I'm just saying that you're working with funds that are hundreds of millions of dollars, so you could lose hundreds of millions of dollars. So they're entrusting you to make sure that they get a return in their investment. So what I'm trying to say is that your word is trustworthy, because people ain't going to put that amount of money in somebody that they don't think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think the word is fiduciary, really just having the financial interests of whichever client I'm dealing with at heart, just their best interests at heart.
Yeah, so. And that's how it should be. So, Ijeh, as you know, we're going through some trying times right now. There's people that's worried about, paying bills and stuff like that. Some people are looking at their 401ks and they're seeing that they're losing money in their 401ks. You know what I mean? So what would you suggest people do with their 401k right now? Should they, pull it out and wait until the market goes back up? Should they just weigh it out? Like, what's your advice? What you got?
Yeah, 401k is, that's really your retirement investment. You don't want to pull that out now, especially after prices have just been cut by 30%. You really want to wait that out and just keep investing, keep pouring into that. In the short term, it may feel hard, but it'll get easier over time. And that's the long game that you really want to play. Taking it out now, you'll get a huge tax burden that you don't really want to incur. It's not necessary, and it'll be half of, or 30% of what it could have been a few months ago. And so not worth it to take anything out, but definitely if you can, make sure you're maxing out the whatever the percentage the employer will match at the firm, and just continue to invest in the 401k, because that's long term. You want to be long term greedy.
All right, so there's the long game, another short game. We're talking about the long game. So say somebody is in the ability to invest right now. They're blessed enough that they're not really hit by what's going on right now. Is this a good time too for them to put in?
Absolutely. So this is, like I said, 30% off from a couple months ago. In some cases, we saw a bear market, which in the fastest bear market in history. So the quickest prices have ever depreciated just happened. And usually that is a sale, and you would want to buy into that. And so, if you do have disposable income, now is the time to start thinking about different places to stock pick. Just riding the market it might be a long ride to get back to where prices were a few months ago, but stock picking, you can definitely do well in this environment if you have enough disposable income. But if you just want exposure to the market anyway, now is definitely a good time to just get started.
So would you suggest people just put everything on black, find one good one, and just put all their money on that, and be like, yo, I'm going all in right here? Or should they, spread it out a little bit?
Nah, for sure. Diversification is always recommended, but it really, everybody has their own individual situation. You may have a lot of real estate, you may have a lot of stocks, you may have equity in a company. You may want to have to diversify that away in some way, but in general, yes, if you are just investing disposable income in the market, you want to diversify that such that you're not betting all chips on black, or
But everything, you never lose on black. Remember that, Ijeh. You never lose on black. I haven't yet.
In general, I think it's above a 10% position is like a concentrated position, so you never really want to have above that anyway, even if you work at that company. So think about divesting that away from that company as you get stock, just to have diversifying exposure. But in general, just diversify.
Somebody told me that if you are going to invest, don't invest amount that you can't lose. So if you lose it, you're like, oh, this is going to hurt. Invest something that doesn't.
That should be everything in stocks. I mean, honestly, a stock could go to zero. So you should expect that if it becomes worthless, you would lose all your money. And so don't put anything in stocks that you wouldn't be perfectly, comfortable not, you'd have to eat that and it would suck, but it'd be the reality that you'd have to live with losing it all. So don't invest anything that you don't want to lose. Of course, you want to grow things over time, but there's a risk reward way to play that such that you're not going to lose everything in one specific bet in one trade.
Okay, that makes sense. So for those that don't got that disposable income right now, and they're like, we're going through tough times, how should they manage their budget right now? Ensure that they're not getting left behind on their rent or their mortgage or their car payment or something like that. How do you make sure that they get all the bills they need to get paid?
For sure. Well, now is more than ever, you want to go through that checklist of, what do you really need every month? We, at this household, we have a operating budget and a non-operating budget, what we actually need and what is sort of extra. And so if everybody kind of just went through their own budget, what they spend every month, and look at their credit cards and can see what they're spending, or their debit, look at what is actually getting debited from your account automatically every month, just cut those out, the ones that you don't need. That's a good way to just kind of get your bearings. But I started using a platform called mint.com and maybe a decade ago, and Personal Capital is what I use today mostly. But it just helps get all of my accounts in all different places into one platform. And it's just easy to see. And I know every transaction that's coming out each day because I look at it every day. And I can say, that shouldn't have happened. And I can, trace that down, try to get my money back. or just make sure I know what I'm spending each month, because I'll obviously know what I'm earning each month. If I'm getting a paycheck, that's a finite amount. I need to understand what's going out, and that can't fluctuate beyond a certain amount that you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I need something like that, because just the other day I found out I was paying for HBO Go and didn't even know it. I had that 3-month free trial, forgot all about it, and they're taking $15 out of my account for at least a year. Didn't even realize it until I checked my banking account, and I was like, this is some BS. So I was like, this is some real bullshit right here. I was mad. $15, I was mad about that.
It's real.
But no,
That's real.
You're right on that one. If you could get everything in one, platform, you could see what you need and what you could hold off on. You know what I mean? You could be like, okay, I got my bills, I got my mortgage, got my car payment, you know, I got the kids' tuition, wherever it may be. And then everything else,
Yeah.
like, oh man, I bought this on Amazon. I bought this, you know what I mean, at Target. I bought this here, bought this there. And you be like, I could kind of cut those things off. So it's good to, you know where your money is going.
And also, if you do own like a property, now would be a good time to look, for refinancing if there is such a facility available. If you are in a position to do that and you're trying to take advantage of the situation, that would be an opportunity to pay lower interest rate on whatever you're paying. And in general, if you have credit cards or student loans or anything, to consolidate that would be a good step to handle now as well, because that's like, right before you get married or something, you got to make sure all your finances are right. You want to just do that same diligence check. So now is a good time to do that when things are changing. Like car loans might not be asking for their money for a month or two. You could postpone things or forbearance for a month or two. Just take that time to understand, what's going in, what's coming out, or, what's going out, coming in, and just figure out
vice versa, either way. Speaking of credit and credit cards, how would you recommend? What would you suggest people do if they wanted to build their credit? You know what I mean? Because everything's so much on credit. If you don't have credit, you can't get a good loan, or if you do get a loan and you have bad credit, it's going to be an extremely high interest rate and something like that. So if those that ain't got the best credit or no credit, how would you, suggest them trying to build their credit back up?
I mean, yeah, there are definitely a few ways that, like, if you have a credit report, it'll show you like the number of inquiries you have. You want to make that between like 0 and 3, or else anything above that will be like, well, why are you looking into your credit so much? And so they'll ding you for that. But also having a number of credit cards is a good tactic of just having credit from all of these credit card companies, but not using it, staying between that like 15 to 30% of the credit that they give you. Only use that much, 15 or 30%, and then pay that down every month. If you're able to do that, that will also help your credit tremendously. But in general, the less installation loans that you have, like a Target credit card and all that stuff, you don't want to have a bunch of those. But if you have a few credit cards like MasterCard, Visa, Amex, whatever, it might help you just have enough credit that, using 20, 30% of that will cover most of the bills you have monthly anyway. So you start using your monthly bills just for the credit, or just on credit, and you're able to pay that back every month. That's kind of the ideal scenario.
And that would make your credit go up a little faster than just trying to nickel and dime it all the way.
It would help show the credit facilities that you are capable of staying within your means.
Okay. All right. No, that's good stuff right there. So EJ, I don't want to hold you up because I know you got a young one and you got a wife, a newborn, and all that other stuff. So so I'm not trying to hold you up on that one. But is there anything else you want to leave the people with? Just information that you think that they should know that would be just good food for thought type of stuff?
Just take advantage of this time. I mean, this is everybody's kind of going through something right now, and the idea is just to come out better on the other side. So whether it's your finances or a trick or skill, like just build a part of yourself and come out on the other side of this better because of it, and don't look back.
Oh, that's some good advice right there. Well, EJ, thank you so much for coming through. I definitely appreciate it. The advice you're giving is much needed and much necessary, definitely, of what we're going through. So thank you so much for coming through, my man.
Of course. Appreciate you, man.
No problem. All right, we are out of here. Thank you so much for chopping up game with your boy Natomas Slimm. We out.
She a little ratchet, but I'm still gonna smash it. Long hair, green eyes, damn, she a bad bitch. So long, breathing hard, asthmatics.